Hello and welcome to another APAC Developer Office Hours. We have a room full of people for once today, rather than multiple people connecting. So let's do a round and introduce ourselves. We'll start with Billy.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Billy.
Hi, I'm Ryosuke from Tokyo.
Hi, I'm Anirudh. I'm visiting from Hyderabad.
Hi, Rashdeep, visiting from Hyderabad.
We say visiting because we're actually out of the office, our usual offices today. Hi, I'm Anchor. I'm from the Sydney office.
I'm Tom Lee, visiting from Hong Kong.
All right. Well, let's get started with the questions. We have 6 this week, and we'll start off with Anirudh.
Yeah. So let me read out the first question. It says it's by Andrew Kelly, and the question is: I read with C2DM that if the app is open, I should update the UI rather than post a notification to the status bar. Is there an easy way in my broadcast receiver to know if the app is open, so that I can file update UI intent and not show a notification? Yes, this can be done using the activity manager. So you get a handle to the activity manager, and you get the list of running processes, and you can check whether your process is in or which process is in foreground, has the foreground priority, and that will tell you whether your application, your activity or your UI is on. And in that case, you can route the intent to your UI.
Right.
I'll pass it to Rashdi for the next question.
Yeah, thanks, Anirudh. The next question is from Bobby Germ, France. Question is on content providers. Is it possible to build a file content provider to access an FTP server? Okay, so content providers are basically a mechanism for multiple apps on the same device to share data. And theoretically, the answer is yes. You can use a content provider to interfaces to build a wrapper on top of accessing FTP server data on the cloud. Now, the concept of accessing FTP using FTP protocol is very different from the way the content provider interfaces are built. So you'll have to think and design in a way where the SQL kind of interfaces like insert, query, delete, and update are translated to relevant queries or commands in FTP protocol. And it will be an interesting implementation to look at. But yeah, the answer is yes, you can do it, but you have to think about how you translate SQL-like paradigm to FTP protocol paradigm. So
I think it'd be interesting to see what use case this.
I was going to say the same thing. It would be really interesting to hear what someone really wants to do with this and why they would want to create this interface back by FTP server.
Yeah.
Drop us a comment in the
thread. Yeah. So Bobby Germ, let us know what you're building. It sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so over to next question from Ryosuke.
Oh, yes. So the next question is, I have a list of shape drawables that I am adding to a view. And after each addition, I am calling invalidate on the view. I thought that invalidate would force a call to onDraw, but it doesn't. Will onDraw give me a fresh canvas at each onDraw? Okay. The question here is that I think it is important to understand that there is no guarantee that there is no guarantee on when we are calling onDraw from the platform, and so you can invalidate the view anytime, but there is no guarantee as to when onDraw will happen. And still, you can expect that onDraw call will happen every time before actual redraw happens. But if you have to do anything onDraw, but you cannot really rely on when onDraw will happen. And so the another question was, will onDraw give me a fresh canvas at each onDraw? That's true.
Yeah, so the canvas object itself may be recycled.
Yeah.
But the canvas itself will be blank every time onDraw is called.
Right. And another thing I'd like to mention is that make sure you are on UI thread whenever you are invalidating the view. Otherwise, you will be screwed. Okay.
Well put.
I hope that answers your questions. Okay. Next one.
All right.
All right.
Aramco now.
Yeah. The context value, sorry, this is from Nembleton in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. The context value is intended for the activity interface, but a lot of tiny operations need it, like internet connection checking or getting app folder or device dimensions. So what's the best way to handle this within threads? So you're absolutely right that an activity can be used as a context, but you can't guarantee that that activity is always going to be around for the entire duration of your app's lifecycle, especially if you have multiple activities. So what you should be doing in this situation is, for context, you should actually be getting the application context, not passing around the activity as your context. So it's a simple call to get application context on the activity itself, or it's available in a number of classes, and from there you can pass that around and use it how you wish.
So another option you can look at is maybe if you really want to pass it and there's no other option, you can pass a weak reference of the activity context. So even if activity is killed, so your weak reference will be, there's no memory leak.
Right.
Right, and your weak reference will be garbage collected.
One pattern I've seen is for using the application context. The application context itself is you can extend the application context, which is android.app.application in your code, and that's basically now your implementation of your application. And you can put a method there, get context, as a static. So you can always say application.getContext, which will give you your application context. So that's another way of obtaining the application context anywhere, even if your activity context is not. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
Okay, so I will take the next question. So the next question is also coming from Nembleton. So I have a process that I want to be running continuously in the background of my application. It has to stay sleeping until there is some data in the database. How to make it wake up when data is inserted in the DB, async task or thread, which is best? So for this particular question, what you can do is you can for the running continuous in the background piece, you can actually use a service. And to listening to database changes, in the SQLite database, there is actually built-in functionality. So you can register an observer, content observer to listen to changes in the database. So basically in insert, update, or delete, you just need to call the method notify change, and whatever observers you register to the database will invoke certain methods when data got changes. So,
cool.
So the last question.
Yeah, let me take that one. So the last question is coming from Portugal, from a username that looks like it's hard to pronounce, Eduardo Soares .pt. And the question is it possible to set up manually IP, mask, gateway, and DNS server in a Wi-Fi connection programmatically in Android ICS? If yes, how? Unfortunately, the answer is no. There is no programmatic way to do it, so it's a short answer. It can't be done today.
Cool. Thanks for that, Billy. Tony, do you want to just check whether there's any questions on the live thread on Google+? And just while Tony's doing that, I guess one exciting thing today is that we posted the schedule for Google I/O. So make sure you go to the Google I/O site and check out what sessions there are. There are a number of Android sessions, and some of us will be presenting at those. And then there's Code Labs and lots of cool things. So certainly go check those out. It's going to be an exciting time.
Yeah, looking forward to all of you being at I/O or watching the sessions virtually using I/O Live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything will be streamed simultaneously.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So if you weren't one of the fortunate few to get tickets, you will have an opportunity to still tune into all our sessions. How are we looking there, Tony?
Well, no, I will say.
Fairly quiet today then. All right, well, in that case, I guess we'll sign off. It doesn't look like there's anyone else asking any more questions. So thank you very much for your time, and we'll be back again next week. So see you then.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
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 Thank you.